In Australia, waves can rise like moving walls, each one a living, shifting force. For big wave surfers, the ocean isn't just a playground, it's a classroom. Reading swells, feeling water moving beneath the board, and trusting instinct all create an intense dialogue between human and the sea. Spots like the Ride in Western Australia, New South Wales, and Shipster's Bluff in Tasmania are home to a lot of big wave thrill seekers. The traditional view of extreme sport enthusiasts is that they are thrill seekers, risk takers, and what motivates them is the chase and kick of adrenaline. However, Eric Breimer's research reminds us that their motivation isn't just simply the thrill. It is not just a homogeneous group of thrill seekers who does extreme sports. It's more complex than that. Some are in it for the challenge, some are born into it, and some just want to hang out with friends and build a community around a shared passion. People engage in extreme sports in a lot of different ways. Some climb mountain walls, some run distances no one thinks is possible, and some throw themselves out of airplanes. Completely different sports, but they are often seen as united in some way. United in the seeking of a challenge, controlling fear, and love for nature. The term extreme sports is used to describe many different adventurous activities, and according to a research paper by Olivier, the exact nature of it remains unclear. This term is used to define both those activities that require high level of training, skills, and commitment, such as free climbing and base jumping, and those activities such as rafting and bungee jumping, which don't require as much dedication, particular skills, or prior knowledge. Though, if we take a narrower view on extreme sports, we can define them as independent leisure activities where the most likely outcome of a mismanaged mistake or accident is death. When thinking about extreme sports, we think about fear. The general perception around this feeling is that it is an emotion to be avoided, yet we wonder, is that true? The assumption surrounding these activities is that participants must either have an unhealthy relationship to fear, or they must be pathologically fearless. Studies on anxiety reveal that these athletes are generally less anxious than the average population, though anxiety and fear are still experienced during these activities. Nevertheless, these athletes are not just adrenaline junkies. Some studies have found that participation in extreme sports also triggers many positive psychological benefits too. Researchers found that these activities instigated positive relationships with nature, benefiting the individual. Moreover, they are likely to develop courage and humility in participants.
Definitely my toughest today, and the toughest I think I'll ever do would be the 800-kilometre paddle from the Gold Coast down to Sydney. I mean, it was my first real challenge. I'd never ran a marathon or anything before. I wasn't a paddleboarder. I'd surfed but never paddleboarded. So I'll never have that first again. Plus, you know, I overcome my PTSD from it, so I'll never have that experience again. You know, the 21 shark encounters, I hope I never have that experience again as well. But there was so much that was going on all at the same time, like every single day and every single minute, really. You know, there was a physical pain, there was mental pain, there was emotional pain, plus there's sharks, there's jellyfish, there's big waves, there's cold currents, there's losing all my food supply, having to sleep on the beach. So there was a lot that was going on at the same time that I'll be forever grateful for that paddle, because it set me up to do everything else that I can now.
Levi, I'm going to talk a little bit about culture and extreme sports and adventurous people. Extreme sports often give rise to subcultures and leave a big mark in people's identities. Surfers, skateboarders, skiers, and base jumpers all have their own language, their own fashion, and their own way of life, often mirroring their connection to the outdoors and the combination of extreme ambition with also a more chill way of life. Some of the biggest brands that have contributed to shaping this culture, and especially the style and fashion of adventure, are Rip Curl, Red Bull, Patagonia, North Face, and many more. Adventurous sports oftentimes become a core part in people's self-definition. They help develop traits and values such as courage, adaptability, and humility. Overcoming risk, fear, and physical challenges leads to a strong sense of authentic self and resilience. Engaging in outdoor adventures also fosters a connection between human and nature. Many participants describe experiences of oneness with nature. For example, a freediver may describe themselves not as an athlete, but as someone who has learned to become part of the ocean. Extreme sport culture often emphasizes a deep respect for nature. Surfers campaign for ocean conservation, while climbers and mountaineers advocate for national parks and preservation of wild spaces. This ultimately creates a collective identity around sustainability and human-nature relationship.